Hey all, Steve from GuitarNiche here. On the bench we have a 83 Yamaha SA800 in interesting condition. It's got some awful blushing in the finish, but it's a nice guitar regardless of the finish imperfections. But the purpose of today's video is how to clean a very dirty neck. Now, this being very dark rosewood and some very, very sketchy strings on it. We can safely assume that it has suffered a bit in, not the best environment, and the finger cheese that's on there is not as bad as I've seen, but still, it's got to come off. And to make things even more interesting, we've got rot, that is tarnish, on the frets. Nasty tarnish, the green stuff. So, how do you suppose we tackle this? Well, I've got some of my favorite products out. Steel wool, never dull, chemical cleaner, of course, the ever popular paper towels, toothbrush, naphtha, lighter fluid, yay. My preferred tool, as always, which is a fine brass bristle brush, some micro mesh pads, a detergent, a mild detergent, a razor blade, one of our more common units for cleaning off excess junk, Dr. Ducks for remoisturizing, F1 oil for remoisturizing, Old English, and Wyman's. Okay, so we're looking at the whole process. That is start to finish. What are we going to do to clean this fretboard from a really dirty state to something that looks spiffy and suits the instrument? What do you think? Well, I'm going to go at it like this. Process of elimination, and then see if we can follow the logic here. Steel wool, not a chance. Not getting anywhere near those pickups. I will never use steel wool when there's a pickup present because it's just asking for trouble. You're gonna do the instrument some harm, even though it works like a champ when it comes to cleaning up the steel fibers after the fact. The potential for damage around the electronics, because you got to use a magnet. Yeah, you can use a vacuum and tape and all that stuff, but the contamination factor is just too high. And for the sake of safety, I'm not going to go that route. This, a lot of people would recommend a toothbrush and maybe some naphtha. Well, yeah, if you got like a long time and nothing else to do, and you want to break your elbow and get at it, no problem. But there are better ways. Seriously, there's better ways. This I might use. I just might use. This I will definitely use. Why? Because, pardon me, because this is a plasticized finish. As you can see, this is like, it's probably, half an inch thick. Anyway, that's an overstatement, obviously, but nothing's going to get through that finish there. The damage is already done. If anybody has any insight into removing this kind of blushing, I'd be totally interested in finding a cure for that. But I don't know, from what I can gather, that kind of blushing under the finish, that's a done deal. But it's cosmetic. At the end of the day, it's cosmetic. So, getting the junk off, which is pretty substantial, I don't think it's going to be a problem. Getting the frets to shine back up, that might be a little bit more interesting, but I do have my methods. And one of them is right here. Micro mesh pads. I have like a whole slew of them, but these are the workhorses here. These this is 15, 24, and 4,000, I think. Yeah, 24. Oopsie. And not that it really matters, but I like to know what I'm working with. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So they've been serving me very, very well for like literally decades. Razor blade, not a chance in the world. I know a lot of guys like to use a razor blade to take off junk, but in my opinion, it's nothing but damage. What you're doing with a razor blade is you're removing too much surface material. Simple as that. You're introducing scratches, you're introducing all sorts of nastiness. I know it works. I know a lot of people prefer it, but I just can't go there. I've done it before. I don't like it. I simply don't like it. I work more from a conservative point of view, and it's as simple as that. You know, we gotta think of the instrument's longevity over everything. Which brings me to a comment about this stuff, the mild detergent. Yes, it has some chemicals in it, but when used properly, it goes on, rub it in, you take it off. It has little to no impact on the lifespan of and the quality of the materials that the neck is made of. It's all about technique, application, and process. Okay, so that leaves us with what are we gonna do? What's the actual process? I have something in mind. I have a pretty fair idea of what I'm gonna do. And we'll get at it. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so once again, one last look. Fairly high gunge factor. You know? And you might find yourself in a position where you inherit or buy an instrument with kind of, you know, patina that you don't want. Well, we're going to show you how to deal with it quickly, efficiently, and more importantly, safely. Okay? Anyway, let's get it set up and we'll have at it. All right. So, first thing we want to do is loosen up some of this finger cheese. Oh my God, that's disgusting. Anyway, okay. So, yeah, that's kind of nasty. Okay. The detergent, the mild detergent. I rub it on. Rub it. This is the key out of everything that I'm going to do to get this fretboard into a better condition is dependent on this one step. That's it. This will accomplish the vast majority of what we need to achieve. Simple as that. Right away, you can see the dirty diaper. Okay? When you see the dirty diaper, you know that you're making progress. Simple as that. Now, right away, I want you to be able to see this properly. So we'll have a little quick inspection here. Right off the top, yeah, the frets are still kind of gungy, but that has taken off. That one application of a mild detergent has taken off the majority of the junk that we need to deal with. Simple as that. Because it's a solvent, it loosens up the surface dirt. Now notice, like, how long did I leave it on there? Seconds. Seconds. That's the key. Don't let it sit. Get it on there, rub it in, wipe it off. Never let it penetrate the wood, because if it penetrates the wood, it's getting into the oils and you know, the nice stuff that we want to keep or maintain. Anyway, so there's that. Now for our next step, I'm going to hit that again. One more time. Why not? Why not? It was so nice, I hit it twice. Just like that. Okay? So the first hit loosened up the surface junk. The second hit is making sure that we got what we're after, that we're really making progress. And that is great. Now, being that this is, oh, by the way, this is my my fine brass bristle brush. The bristles measure 0.007 inches, which is pretty fine. I mean, they're like really fine. They're nice. They're very accommodating for this purpose. So what this does is gets into the fibers and the knees of the frets, the wood fibers, I should say. And because the wood has been hit with a little bit of moisture, it furs up, like it whiskers. And when you hit it with the brass bristle brush, it tends to burnish it. It's all surface stuff, just surface stuff. We're never penetrating into the guts of the wood or the frets or anything like that. It's all surface stuff. Just get that. Another quick hit. I'm going to use a clean paper towel just to make a point here. And then we'll have a look at our process. So at this point, I've hit the neck twice with a mild detergent. Rub-a-dub-dub, and then a quick brush with a fine brass bristle brush. Oh, see, that 3 times fast. And what do we have? We've made pretty fair headway. Pretty fair headway. I'd call that, you know, it's nowhere near, you know, done, but I would say that's pretty good progress in a very, very short amount of time. Okay, so the wood that is the neck, which is a beautiful rosewood, is nice. It's actually really, really nice. And the tarnish that is on the fret ends is already dissipating. So, what am I going to do next? I'm going to go straight for a 1500 micro mesh pad. Okay, this particular piece has been in action for probably 25 years. Yes, it's that good and it lasts that long. And yes, I'm going with the grain of the board. If I wanted to, I could go this way, but then, you know, it's time and stuff like that. You know, it's really up to you. What do you want to do? You know? But all I'm trying to do is restore a nice looking, polished fretboard. By the way, I will say this. If this was a nitro finished instrument, this mild detergent would never get anywhere near it on a vintage scale. But on newer instruments, they're plasticized, so they handle chemicals better. It's experience and stuff like that. It's a judicial process that, you know, is gained from experience, etc., etc., etc. So don't hate me because I use chemicals on nitro instruments. If you know what you're doing and you know how to ruin something because of experience, which I've done, then you make those critical decisions in a much better way. I'll say that. Okay, anyway, so back to cleaning up the frets. Come on. How far are we going to get with 1500? 1500? We're not talking like 600, 800 sandpaper. No, we're talking 1500. Why? Because this did a lot of the groundwork for us. The mild detergent and the scrubbing and the burnishing did a lot of the groundwork. All we're doing is making it look nicey, nicey, nice. Get the edges there. Okay. And this is a dry, just a dry piece of paper towel. Okay, look at that. See, we're picking up the dirt from cleaning the frets and stuff like that. How are we looking? How are we looking? Well, let's get a closer look here. All right. Do you see how quickly this is coming along? Very, very nice. From where we started, this is crazy good. It's not rocket science. It's just the using good processes and stuff like that. Now, there is a trend. I will say this. There's a trend for this mirror polish thing, which I think is wonderful. It's great. Looks great. But on an instrument like this, you're really putting lipstick on a pig. I mean, if there was ever a situation where that quote or that colloquial term was ever more appropriate, it's here. There is no need for a mirror polish on these frets when the rest of the finish it's going to... Anyway, I understand it's a wonderful thing. It's all good. But what I will do is I'm going to go the distance a little bit and put a nice final shine on the frets, just because we can, and we want to make a point of something. Now, at this point, you'll notice there's some serious divots here, but they look a lot worse than they actually are. I would say that fret is about high 30s, and those divots are 4th or so. So we're, there's lots of life left there. Lots of life there. They always look worse than what they are. So we'll give this a quick scooch. Didn't hit that one enough. Because, we're going to try to leave some kind of nice impression. You're not seeing probably not seeing the whole Monty as far as the process here. These guards have some tape on the back so that they don't interfere with anything going on the fretboard. And down to the last couple of frets here. Okay, now to finish up, I'm doing this very, very quickly, so bear with me. See, I'll try to keep it visible as much as I can. have it. Okay, last one. Beauty. So that's that. So where did we wind up? Another look. Considering where we started, I would say that's a pretty fair result. Now keep in mind, this is a Yamaha instrument, very, very well made guitar to begin with. Quality product, quality construction, quality materials, all that good stuff. So, where are we going to finish? What are we going to put on the board to call it a done deal, clean, and all that? Well, I'm going to try the F1 oil. I've been using this for the last few, well, quite a few jobs, and it seems to be going okay. I haven't quite made up my mind on it as to whether it is like the cat's meow, as a lot of people would like you to think, because it really depends on the type of material you're working with. Of course, it's useless on a on a painted surface and stuff like that. We're talking about an open pore, fretboard. But I will find out as soon as I start rubbing it in, because that tells me everything. I'll say this: it's thick. It's like, it's got a gluey property to it, which, think about this for a second. Having said that, if it's a little bit gluey, it doesn't go deep into the wood. If you want something like a thicker product, will stay on the surface. And some fretboard materials want penetration. Others are the type of woods that you don't need that. Like ebony doesn't need anything but a clean. Simple as that. You might want to hit it with something after the fact just to give it a shine. But compared to other things, that's a different animal. So it really depends on what you're working with. And I would say, at the end of the day, I am done. Because there's nothing coming off of that. And I can tell you just by looking at it, I'll hit it one more time. There. Nothing coming off. The green is gone. The corrosion's gone. The patina of the rotting frets. The green. No more green. All good. The junk is gone. And I've been blabbing away like a madman. And this is taken, if you edit out or take into consideration all the stuff I've been going on about, I mean, it's like a couple minutes. And at the end of the day, this fretboard is shite and briny and matches the guitar beautifully. Really. It does. Anyway, I think all things considered, that was probably the best approach to cleaning this particular board. Different instruments, different fretboards, different materials, different approaches, different products, etc., etc. And we will try to tackle them one at a time as we go through life and this series of videos, because it's always fun. At the end of the day, this turned out really, really well. And yeah, I think we're where we need to be. Anyway, as always, my name is Steve. This is GuitarNiche. Hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you read the description below. There's always something going on down there. There's free resources and goodies and all sorts of wonderful stuff. play loud, have fun, have a great day, like and subscribe. We'll see you. Cheers.